Welcome to Linux Saloon, a place to discuss tech, open source, and where Linux is always on tap. Each show we talk about Linux projects such as a distribution, desktop environment, or it could be an application. We also chat about the news or any variety of topics from the community. Anything Linux tech and open source related is on the table for discussion. I'm Nate, a Linux fitness and vintage tech enthusiast with an almost another obsession with the OpenSUSE project. And with me today, I've got quite the panel of people. I've got Dale, full scale for me, Mike, Ben, Jinda, and Mike Chilson. How is everybody?
Good.
Good, thanks.
Man, I can just feel that enthusiasm. It's great. Great. So there's an expression
More
that
caffeine.
more caffeine, yeah. I'm in need of some, but if I have some caffeine, then I'm not going to go to sleep tonight, and then I'm going to have new problems tomorrow. Oh, and look, Eric just popped in. Bam. So everything's a show. Anyway, if you would be so kind as to hit that like button and subscribe if you have not done so already, but better yet, join the chat here on Discord. I put an event link because I know how to do these things in Discord. Not bad for an old guy. There's an event link. You can join this Discord chat, offer your voice, your ideas a little more real time. I mean, we do read the messages, but sometimes it's a little more fun to be a vocal participant like Jinda. I mean, Jinda's a little disruptive, so don't be quite like that. But you know what I mean. I'm kidding. Also, you can join our Discord and Telegram groups. Keep the conversation rolling throughout the week. And also, be sure to do the StrawPoll, cubiclenate.com/polls. Yes, I am keeping it classy today, Mike Chilson. Wore tux today, trying to, step it up a bit, kind of try and keep things a little bit more classy. So if you can't, no, that's not it.
Does that tux include the penguin, or did you add that?
Well, I got this at Southeast Linux Fest a couple years ago, and it's one of my favorite shirts now. Yeah.
No, I meant the penguin that's on your shirt. I didn't know if that was
it's
like
part of it
or not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah.
So it's a tux with tux.
I mean, come on. Does it get any better?
Only with a baseball hat.
It's like a double.
Only with a baseball. Yes.
It's like a double pun thing. I think one of those that old chestnut.
Maybe if the back had like tails or something.
Well, I think the back it has something. I can't remember what it says. Like license to kill, and it's like I don't know, something on the back. But anyway, I don't see the back very often because I don't have mirrors behind me or whatever. Anyway, so nicely derailed that. On the docket for today, it's an open mic night, so it's quite a variety of topics. I want to bring up the Epic Games thing again, something from IBM, Dell, and HP, and some news on the PC market there. But first, we'll get to also StrawPoll in there as well. But what have you doing Linux and tech? I was talking to Mike Chilson earlier today, and we've been talking about this actually throughout the week, and pretty darn cool. You got something called PromptRobot and a website to boot. Yes?
Yes. We're going to do a little demo later, but basically it's just a command automation tool for Linux, a graphical command automation tool, I should say, that allows you to save your terminal commands that maybe you have to go look up every time. You use them once every 3 or 4 months or whatever. And anyway, it allows you to save those and execute them right from the same program. And if you'd like to check it out, the website is actually PromptRobot.app.
And there is a link in the YouTube. I put it in there. Also, it will be in the show notes as well if you've missed it. So we can come back and get it at a later time. Oh, and a wild Chris has appeared. How you doing, Chris?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic. So, Mike, when you were designing this, because actually, I think we started talking about this some time ago. I feel like it's almost been maybe 6-9 months. I don't know. Time flies. Maybe
about
it was a year.
6 months. Yeah.
Okay. And you're talking about like what would be important to, I guess, I feel like it's a sysadmin tool, someone who does a lot of sysadmin type work, and
it does. It is. I mean, there's other ways to do what it does. Actually, a good friend of mine, Tim, inspired me to make this application.
Okay.
Because we were talking and we were like, wouldn't it be cool if just in one place you could save all your common commands you use in Linux and just access them and run them right there? And as simplistic as it sounds, it's actually very usable. I've been using it for like the last 2 weeks and have used it many times myself. So I think it's one of those things that a lot of people have overlooked because of the other options like searching your bash history or writing bash scripts to do the things you want. But this is just a simple way to do it,
So I guess I'm curious now because I haven't actually tried it yet. You gave me the link. I think it was yesterday or Thursday. Either way, it's been a funny week. I haven't tried it yet, but could I use it to be like a quick place to keep maybe like some, let's say I do some PowerShell or Windows command prompt things. Would it be a good place for that as well?
No, not at this
okay.
time.
Okay.
I'm really targeting this for Linux.
Okay.
I kind of looked into doing the PowerShell thing. I mean, it's possible. I'm not sure. There's so many complications about running PowerShell scripts for the average user that I just didn't think there would be that kind of market there for it,
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm interested in trying it out, seeing what I can, how I can break it, essentially.
See, that's what I liked about, is it Fish? Where you can bookmark stuff and it'll automatically fill in sudo apt get update and sudo apt, what's the one? Upgrade or something like
upgrade,
that. Then it automatically hits enter for me, and then I just put in my password. I don't have to remember all that.
Right. It's a similar thing. It's really for people who are not that comfortable with the terminal. Either that or they're in a graphical interface most of the time. So it's just a way to circumvent that. So, but there are obviously other solutions, and none of them are better than the other. They're all good solutions. It's just this is just a different way to do it. So.
Well, I'm just in seeing a demo of that for sure. I mean, I'll play around with it too. So I don't know if we'll sometime, whenever you're ready, whenever you feel like you're ready to demo it. But I do want to actually real quickly show PromptRobot.app. I don't know why I lost my mind here. I should have done this earlier. Look at that website. Look at that website right there. You can check it out. So nice and clean. So there we go.
If you notice, I pretty much use the same template for all my open source apps.
Oh, that's fine.
Because it works well.
Right. Nice and clean. Yeah. Yeah, functional.
So you copy it here, and then.
Yep.
Let's see.
There's a dark mode.
We can do the demo now, or we can do it later, whichever you want, Nate. You just tell me, man. It's your show. It's your gig.
Yeah. Why don't you do the demo now?
Yeah, his mind has fixated on it now, so we're going to check it out.
Yep. We may as well just do the demo now. If you want to share your screen.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
And I'll.
Eric knows me too well, and I'm not sure if I should be upset about that.
Shiny object syndrome. It's all right, brother. I have it too.
I kind of picked that up, Eric, when he started.
Yeah, I mean, he was done. That was it. He was done on the rabbit hole. So.
Yeah, I have many failings, and that's one of them.
Okay.
No, curiosity is a gift.
Let me launch it here.
And a curse.
And this is PromptRobot. Very simple. I've got 3 items in there right now. for a demo. And basically, you can, add items. It's very simple. The beauty of this application is it's so simple, it needs no documentation. Okay. You can edit any item you want. Let's see, what else? You can search. If you have like dozens and dozens of these things, you can search for it. Of course, it has the light and dark mode for Nate. And then to launch one of these, you can either highlight it and hit run, or you can just double click and it launches its own terminal within the application and executes whatever you launched. So, and then when you're finished, of course, you can copy you can copy all this if you need to. You can go back and just, it's a very simple application, but
so
it gives you a place to store these things.
Can I bug you real quick about the terminal side of it?
Sure.
So the font that you're using there does not look as good on mine. So is there some sort of, is it looking for a font and then like falling back to like a default or something?
No, it comes with its own font. So
okay, because my prompt, maybe it's the way my prompt is set up and it's just different from yours, that like it actually is running together.
Yeah.
Like the host name is over top of my username. It's sort of the default Ubuntu prompt.
Right.
So
yeah, what it does is it actually launches a shell. Okay. And this is a library that has its own terminal, and it launches the shell, and it uses bash. So I haven't really tried it with other shells yet, but I can adjust to that if there's a problem, but I don't think there'll be a problem with it.
You know what? I wonder if it's because my default console, because I'm using Yaquake with a custom font, and I bet you my default console has a weird monospace. Yeah. Okay. I think I answered my own question then. Thank you.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is that there are some really, really nice terminal fonts out there. You just have to go looking for them. But I always change mine. I mean, it's just the one that comes usually with most distributions. I don't know. I find it a little gross looking, but anyway, so this is it. Of course, I have to give myself some kudos here. And you can there's a link to the website and an email if you have a problem or if you have a question or a suggestion about it. Feel free. It also tracks the last time you ran it. It doesn't keep a log of that, but it just tracks the last date ran and the creation date. So this is version 0.1. Okay. So there's lots of things we can add in the future. So if you give it a try and you see something you like or you'd like to see added, just email me or hit me up here on Discord and I'll see if we can implement it. Also, you can, these icons allow you to copy to the clipboard, the command. So, but my buddy, and I actually do the same. I have about 3 or 4 bash commands or workflows that I run once a month. And I've always just used the history. I've never even put them into a script. So what I'll do is I'll use on my personal copy, I'll use this to add all those. And then I can just go double click on it and it'll take care of it for me. So, but everything is, and so like if it's a sudo command, it respects that and makes you type your password, right? It's just a regular terminal session. So
where is it getting like the terminal session? Where is it pulling that from?
It's creating its own session.
Yeah. Well, no, what terminal are you using though? How does it? You actually
It's not using a terminal. It's using its own terminal. There's a
Okay.
terminal library that I've compiled into the application.
Okay.
And
Cool.
so, but anyway, so that's PromptRobot in a nutshell, as Austin Powers would say. If you have any questions or suggestions, like I said, hit me up on Discord or email me from the website. And can't think of everything, so if you think of something interesting to add to it, I'll see what I can do to add it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll send you an email about the font thing because I'm trying to change it and it's still defaulting to whatever that font is on my side. So I'll send you screenshots so you can see it.
Okay.
Is there a place now to actually select the font, or what is it pulling in for the font?
It's just using, actually, I can tell you, let me pull up the code and I'll tell you what font it is. I'll show you the double secret backdoor. How about that?
Ooh.
No, there is not a place to set the font. That's definitely something I can look at adding. Let me open.
I was thinking even if you would like support a config file maybe so that you don't have to like have a bunch of UI garbage, but just give us the ability to, override it that way.
Yeah, it has a, let me open this up. See if I can find it. I'm trying to remember where the font is. Yeah. Let's see, where was that? I think it was in the other one. There is a way to change it in the library. I don't think I think I just used the default one. I know there's a, you can set the size. That's where you're setting the font size. But anyway, yeah, I can look into that.
Okay.
But yeah, if you would send me an email, and that way I won't forget it, Eric.
Yeah,
and,
I'll do that.
I'll be happy to look at doing that. There is already a config file. It's a JSON file that stores like this.
Okay.
So if I set that to dark, I can come back, and guess what? It's still dark. So I'll show them to you. It's pretty simple. Let's see.
So he says.
Yeah.
QA is never simple.
There's two files here. There's the commands and there's the settings. And this is just the settings right now. I didn't launch it there. Just open it with gedit. So it's pretty simple. It's just saving whether the dark mode's true or not. The commands are actually, they're just in a single tree there.
I'm curious, what DE is this? Does it look like KDE?
This is Ubuntu Budgie.
Ah, okay, Budgie.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's the application. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm sure I will. I'm going to try this thing out for a while. I'm just playing with it right now. I did. Well, I'll have to show you afterwards. We'll see. But no, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. That's very cool. Yeah, that's neat.
Well, thank you. It's it seems like such a simple thing, but when you have those obscure jobs that you run every now and then, it's nice to keep them all in one place like that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh, for sure.
Like I said, there's a lot of ways to do that. This is just a different way to do it. So, and it's currently available in Debian and RPM. Because this isn't a package that's probably going to get a lot of downloads from people, I'm probably not going to make it a snap or a Flatpak. I'm probably just going to keep it a distribution package.
That's fair. Sweet. That's really cool.
And
I like the fact that
thank you for allowing me to show that, by the way.
Yeah, I like how you can double click to launch it, or I can just copy it right out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
One thing I'm looking at adding also is the ability to insert a prompted variable for each item. So let's say you're doing as a simplistic example, let's say you're doing an LSA, okay, -A, and behind that you put open bracket, path, and then close bracket, close bracket. What would happen is when you run that, before it launches it would pop up a dialog and ask for the path. And you could,
Okay.
the idea is you could have multiple of those in there if you want them for different situations.
Gotcha. I guess how would you, in a practical sense, how would you utilize
What would you
that in
use
your
that
application?
for?
Yeah.
Well, I have one workflow where it actually sends an API call using curl and triggers a download to an FTP area of some data from a database, and then it goes and the curl goes and picks up that file there. Well, that file name changes based on the date and time. So I could actually either, just put what I think the file name would be, or that would be I guess a simplistic example of how you could use that each time you run it. Or if like the file name changes by the month and the year or whatever, something like that. You're muted, buddy.
Of course I am. I did that on purpose. I wonder when there's a way. I guess another thing I have to show you. I was using speed test CLI to do some speed tests around the building. I think this might be a way to do that. And I would just fill in just in the line, like the location, and then the file name that I wanted to append this CSV with, and then try and so I can just walk around and get some metrics, essentially. Just a very simple way, because I was having some trouble. I had to try and prove something out. And so I suppose something like that I could work. Yeah, I don't know. It's very possible. I know. I'll talk to you about that also, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's a great example of something like that. I mean, like if you're checking your wireless connections, that could be it. So.
Oh, see, Jinda. This is where Jinda should pipe up, because he just put in the chat, YouTube chat. He says, "I used it and made a bunch of commands for DistroBox." So do tell, Jinda, what commands did you make?
Well, I was using, what is it, Box Buddy, and for some reason, every once in a while, because I switched to KDE, I think it is the icon for stop disappeared on me. Sometimes at random, it seemed like. So then I tried DistroShelf, which was just as good, if not better. It's the same thing over again, but the stop button was still there. So I said, well, since Mike made this program, can I just do all my silly commands that I would always do in DistroBox with a couple of clicks? Well, you know what I mean? And within a couple of seconds, I had all the stuff I ever wanted to do, and I don't even have to use it anymore because the stuff was right there.
There you go.
In other words, Mike did a good job. And
look, don't let that get out, okay?
I know. I'm trying not to, but it was Nate who forced it from me.
I did. That was definitely my doing. see, distro shelf. Is that like Box Buddy?
Yes, it's the exact same thing. I learned about it on a website called Cubicle Nate. I think it was
Are
called.
you sure about that?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I talked about a different one.
A distro
Container?
shelf, I think it was called. Oh, that was the one you talked about?
Yep. Yeah, container.
Okay, I use distro shelf. I'm trying to remember where I did hear from it. It's the
I
same
think
thing
this
as,
is. Go
What?
ahead, Jen.
no, it's the same thing as Box Buddy. It's just a little different.
I was just going to say that this is probably the most I've heard Jen talk in 6 months.
Yeah,
See-
now I'm getting scared.
I like how distro shelf kind of displays little symbols on the side like that. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's I had less issues with it because of the stop button problem I had.
Oh, okay.
It was disappearing on me. Oh, the other thing I did was I went online, and I hate to say this, but it's true. AI told me how to do it, and it's real easy to do. You just have to type in some commands. I wanted to, when I launch, say, I always launch Fedora for some reason in distro shelf, or distro box rather. I wanted it to tell me that the command prompt, I wanted to tell me I was in it. You know what I mean? I wanted to say Fedora on it to make sure that I wouldn't get mixed up. And I just went into chat or, AI, and it told me how to do it. And I was like really impressed how easy that was.
Well, that is cool. Yeah, sometimes it's just need that little bit of context that somehow those large language models can suss out for you, I guess. Pretty cool.
Eric, when you email me, will you send me some screenshots of the terminal?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, is show you what my default terminal looks like and then what the terminal looks like in your app. I'm trying to figure out how to get it to return the font face in use from the terminal, because I noticed that I can continue to input commands into your terminal.
Right.
And so I was trying to see if I could get it to tell me what font you're trying to display, because I'm guessing either I don't have it installed, and so it's doing some like weird, like I just found this like default, if you do Etsy default console-setup, it says like a font face, it lists font face in there and it says Terminus, which I don't think I have. And I don't know where it's pulling that from, like why that's the default, but I'm wondering if maybe that's the problem. I don't know. I haven't gotten far into like debugging it, but.
Yeah. Interesting. Are
cool.
you, what distro are you running on?
I'm on, oh my gosh. You're gonna make my brain work.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ask.
It's it's Debian based. I can't remember the name of it at the moment. Let me give me 1 second. Oh my goodness, Pica OS.
Okay.
I couldn't remember at the moment. Yeah, so it's Debian based, and I'm on Plasma, and I'm telling it to use Fira Mono, and so that's what I'm using in both the system terminal and console, and then also in Yaquake. So, and it is honoring that. So whenever I load your app, it's giving me some like something that it's not rendering properly, basically. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now, if there's like some other place that it's pulling it from, or some default that, you're looking at.
I'm looking right now to see if I can find what the default font is for that library.
Gotcha.
Which I believe it. Let me see. I think it just uses the default session
with.
Yeah.
Default. You know what? See, Plasma does a weird thing with default profiles. Like it does a built-in profile, but then it uses the settings to like kind of override it. It's a weird setup. Yeah. So I wonder if it's because it's like Plasma's doing something weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to find out why.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send you screenshots.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
That kind of feedback is really helpful, by the way. I mean,
Solving the world's problems one font at a time.
that's right.
So Mike, you said you don't intend to support PowerShell?
No, not right now, at least.
Does it only support Bash? Is that the issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Right now, it only supports Bash. Yeah. I mean, it should just launch a Bash. Even if you use like Fish, it should just launch a Bash session if Bash is still on your machine. So
if PowerShell is on the machine, it would work.
if it's the default shell, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure because all it's doing is launching a new session.
So what I was actually thinking of, how I was thinking of actually using it is keeping my PowerShell and command prompt lines in there as well. And then I can just copy them and paste them to wherever. So I don't have to use that terminal. I don't have to double click to get it. I can just copy paste it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to adding PowerShell, as like when you go to set up the new item, I could have it pick Bash, Fish, or PowerShell, when you to tell which shell to launch. So I just have to dig in and find out what it's going to take to do that. So, I mean, I know the line where it's doing it, and it shouldn't be a problem. It's just a matter of adding it to the add items dialog.
Yeah, I think it's a really neat tool. So I got it installed. I got some things I popped in there.
Yeah. I have my Joplin notes is basically full of just terminal commands. Not all of it, but obviously, it's one of the primary reasons that I take notes is because once I actually figure out the right command, I need to refer back to it at some point. Like it's my brain dump to do that because otherwise there's no way. If it's not in my history file and it's not in Joplin, forget it.
It's gone. Yeah.
I hear you.
Be honest, I just ask AI. I never bother to ask AI.
I feel like I'm bothering
Yeah,
after a
we
while. I
get
keep
it.
asking the same questions over and over again.
You know what? That's the same as that I've done with Google over the years, right? I mean, I don't really use Google anymore, but the idea that you use a search engine and you offload the idea of needing to memorize, or I don't know anybody's phone numbers anymore because they're just in my phone, right? I get that. It's like another way to just offload more mental load.
Listen, I still know.
I don't ask the AI for the command. Like I just tell the AI to do the thing.
I mean, like some sort of like an agent that you have running on your environment.
Yeah, it's like I don't even need to worry with the command. I'm just like, hey, I need to do this, make it happen.
Adam has a physical robot butler that's wandering around his house right now.
His name is Jeff Bezos.
Margaritas all around.
But it's Jeff Bezos with a 0. Yeah.
Oh, techie. I like it.
Well, I don't want to get sued, so.
Right. So
the distinct difference.
Just give him hair, and then it won't be Jeff Bezos.
Hair and a soul.
There you go.
The one thing they do share, no soul.
Ouch. So, do you not know anybody's phone numbers anymore?
I mean, I know my wife's number. I know the home number. I knew all the numbers that I had to memorize before I had a cell phone. So all my childhood numbers, you know what I mean? That's all
Jenny?
still in the buffer, but everything else,
Remember Jenny's number?
8675309. I got it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes,
now you have to
there'll always be room in there for that.
The area code.
They didn't give one because we didn't use them back in
I
the
know.
day.
So now you can't call.
That's
You don't know
right,
what
you
area
can't.
code.
That threw me off because that came in, I think when I was about 10 or 12. The fact that we had an area code. I mean, we always had one, but you just never had
Yeah,
to
but you
dial
didn't
it.
have to use it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That song created about 27 hours of overtime in the AT&T knock when it came out because it didn't use 555. My wife and her team
Yeah. Wow.
had to block that number nationwide and get all of those people a new phone number. And it was thousands.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
555-1212.
Yeah.
Is that the Tanner household in Full House?
There's every fictional house.
I can still remember my first Michigan phone number, but I don't remember the number I had when I lived in
I'm getting a bit of a slowdown here on the Discord. My bitrate looks okay, but I'm... Just Discord is slowing down on me, not YouTube. Don't know what's going on here. Hopefully it doesn't die on me. Pizza. All right, well, I'm going to start working on getting the StrawPoll in here. Well, things, it looks like Discord has taken a dump on me. Maybe it'll come back here in just a bit. It looks like Discord has lost its mind. Actually, I don't think I'm even moving right now. I'm watching Discord here do its thing. Oh, okay. Looks like it's coming back. So that was entirely a Discord thing. Did anybody else lose connection?
Didn't lose connection, but all the audio and video froze.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Like it seems like something happened on the Discord end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Good times. All right. So we're watching back after the fact. You can skip that part. So, all right. I will move on to the StrawPoll. And say if AI is a bubble, how soon will that bubble burst? So cubicate.com/polls. Got a couple of comments here. It says there both is a bubble and there is not. That's one comment. And then a certain guy who was bitten by a penguin. Also, not soon enough. That seems fair. And then it has a Linux Saloon option. So I'll pull that up in just a little bit here, but there's we have a StrawPoll from before. We'll go ahead and I'll queue that up. So we'll go ahead and see the results on this one. So it looks like the consensus of the voter here is yes in around 18 months, 46%. Yes in around 6 months in second place at 15%. And other was please reply. Those was probably the comments that we had. Then at 8%, yes in around 12 months. So tied for fourth is also yes in 24 and more than 24. But nobody says no bubble. And then how does it change since last time? It looks like 12 months, and that was 7 months ago. So we're what? 3 months out from that? 4 months? Wait, I can't count. 5 months. And then also in around 18 months, in second place, or tied for second place, and then other was also tied for second. So I don't know. What do you think?
I have a general sort of question about your polls. Where am I supposed to send an other answer?
You just send it in like Telegram or Discord. You just tag myself and or Eris.
Is
Like
there a
reply to
way
it?
to potentially just enter something in the poll?
Let me look into
Just out of
that,
curiosity.
because that would be a good idea.
I just think if I could literally say other and then have, because that happens a lot, like on surveys that you do for like businesses and stuff. You say other and then it says, okay, tell us why. So yeah, if you could do that,
I will look
that'd
into
be
that.
great. Okay.
If you could,
Yeah.
by 9 o'clock Saturday morning, that'd be great.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have you come in on Saturday too. All right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I had another and I thought, oh, where am I supposed to send this? So yeah, that would be great. And my other basically was that the hype cycle will die, right? It'll eventually just like, we will stop hearing about it. It'll just be. But the idea that AI is going to go away is laughable. The companies have spent, GTDs of like small nations on developing this stuff. So you're not your GDP. You're not going to they're not going to just stop using it. It's going to morph. It'll become different things. It'll find its way. But yeah, it's an interesting approach to it because usually things are like the need is much more clear and much more defined, and then the product is designed to fill the need. Whereas there's a general sort of amorphous need or concept of like what this type of technology could do. And it's like we're coming at it slightly sideways where it's like, okay, there's a whole bunch of business cases and use cases, but you have to kind of build the tool for the use case, but in the use case for the tool. And so it's kind of a refinement process. So that process, I think, takes, maybe another couple years that you keep hearing about, or opening the app that you've been using for, 15 years. And there's, like Telegram, oh, here, let us help you write this 4-word reply with AI because that's helpful, right? That kind of thing. And you see that everywhere and it's very noticeable. It's in your face. And I think we'll start to see less of that and more of like those tools will be there, but they'll be more seamless and less of like hey, we've got AI. So our investors all know we have AI, to more of like, we have AI because everybody has AI because that's just how you do this. So
I think it's something like the .com burst. The internet didn't go away after the .com burst. It's just the garbage or the nonsense sort of went away, more or less. Take place for new nonsense.
The valuations that were way unsubstantiated, right? The bottom fell out of that, and I think we see that we've kind of had a soft reset in a lot of ways with VC capital, venture capital, because for so long you had companies like WeWork and these other like notable examples where they were just blowing through money with no end in sight. And maybe food delivery is another good example, right? Where these companies would just, Blue Apron and all the rest of them, just hemorrhaging money with the idea that eventually they were going to figure out a way to monetize it properly. And I think that has tightened down more and more to where if you're going to create a product, it has to have more of a direct purpose, a direct use. Things are more pragmatic now, I think, than they used to be, less just blindly optimistic. So.
Well, I think Blue Apron is still a thing. Yeah, it's still a thing. Blue Apron.
Oh, no, it is. I'm just saying, like, you'd have one or two notable examples of like a new market or a new trend, and then you would have 100 copycats, right?
Right.
Who really had no value. They just somehow got money from someone to start a very similar project, and then because at that point VC was so aggressive in terms of like trying to find ways to spend their money, and that was the whole point, was to invest, and you knew you were going to have a high percentage of losers, but you only needed a couple really strong winners, and so you funded them all, and you sort of hoped that the few would it's like mobile games don't make money off of most people. There's those like 5% of users or players who are like the whales, who are going to spend $3,000 a month on a mobile game because they can, that kind of stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of that same similar. Anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I think
no
you're right
bubble.
about that.
Hype, not bubble.
To me, it seems like they're not. They're going to have to monetize this in such a way that is sustainable, because eventually the VC money will dry up. Because they're going to want to see a return, or they're going to be like, I'm not going to put good money after bad. And so I think we'll see.
Well, who's making money though? What's funny is it's not the providers. So it's not Anthropic, it's not, OpenAI. It's the companies who are using the product who have found some ways to start actually making revenue or saving money using them, right? It's like worth it to them. But the providers...
Anthropic did post profits.
Did they? Okay. But they've also cranked down, it's expensive. So, I mean, relative to what you get, if it's what you're doing, if it's your job, spending $200 or $300 a month on a pro license is nothing. I mean, I get that, but I think when you look at it from like a shock value, it's like, oh, the prices have gone up so dramatically, but I think that the businesses that are using it effectively have definitely found value in it. It's just that the providers themselves, I think, are still not like dead on sure of like where the money's going to come from, or like the most effective way to price it. And, we've seen the creep of like, context, and so anyway, it's complicated, right? It still seems a lot like the cart before the horse mentality, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It's just different.
I think Anthropic, looking at the numbers, I think like OpenAI is not looking particularly healthy. Google, we have no idea, because it's going to be, they're such a giant company, they're going to develop it anyway. And then I think XAI is probably the other one that's doing well.
Well, Microsoft is the ones that they really have put a lot of money behind it, and I'm not quite sure they have figured out how to recoup that.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see. I don't know. I think
the other thing too, there's a lot of subsidies from the government that are backing these data centers,
well, they're playing that AI support superiority game, right?
Right.
You don't want to let China win,
So that's kind of maintaining a cap somewhat on the tokens.
It's like the nuclear arms race, except I think one is more destructive than the other. Now that you figure out which one you think is more destructive.
Exactly.
On a practical day-to-day basis, yeah.
I don't know.
I just wish I had actual like numbers that I could believe, because I heard today that someone said it's going to cost or it's going to use 1 trillion gallons of fresh water next year, and it's like,
what does that even mean?
Where did that number even come from? I mean, come on,
Yeah, what does it even mean though? What do you mean use it? It's going to evaporate in the air, or
right? It disappears forever, right?
Right.
I think it's the difference between being potable and non-potable. Yeah.
They wouldn't need potable water for I think it was potable, but whatever. Potable water for
I've always heard it was potable, but maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My
People in Michigan say things weird, so
it's true.
My understanding is it uses that much water, but most of that water is recycled once they have their storage tanks or whatever they're called filled.
Yeah. See, I think those are not sustainable, those giant data centers. I think there'll be some sort of an AI, like everyone will have their own AI something that they they control locally. I think that's probably more likely in the future that they have like a something that they can self-host.
It's the old profit thing. Eventually, the stockholders or the VC holders will say, "Okay, the free ride's over. It's time to start making money."
Yep.
And if you look at the average large data center bill for electricity, I won't say what farm it was, but it's roughly the monthly payment on a 10-story building.
Yeah,
It's a
so,
lot.
but I think it'll all just sort of level out eventually.
Or not.
What can you? Yeah, it's got to. It's just the way it goes. I mean, or this could be the end of civilization as we know it. I mean, that's also a possibility.
It could also be the same.
Everybody always says that, and it never happens.
This could also be the same conversation of when they were trying to get rid of horses and place and use cars instead.
Self-driving cars.
But I guess went from self-driving horses to horses, steel horses, I guess. Yeah. One poops, the other one farts, I guess. Good times.
Well, the hardware's always followed the software side of artificial intelligence. And I think that'll continue until the point where it gets cheap enough and some new chip design comes out, or array of chip designs come out that allow it to run more efficiently, Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with the same thing for a while.
I think the code will get more efficient too over time, and they'll find efficiencies in how they parse and process information.
I just want them to stop telling me that. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Quit wasting that token to tell me that, okay?
Yeah,
if you've gotten to that point, then your context window needs to be reset, sir.
Yeah, I know, but it's like all those little things add up over millions of people,
Yeah, I recall early on in I think it was in ChatGPT 4.0 come out. I think that was it. The OpenAI said that it cost them like $1 million extra for people to say thank you. And they're like, you don't have to be nice to the AI. It's cost a lot of money for you to be nice to it.
Right.
Yeah, but we're trying to ingratiate ourselves to the AI so they know that we were polite to them all this time, When the overlords come, they say, "Oh, he was one of the polite ones. He thanked us." Yeah.
Or to Adam's point, he kept he was so polite he was wasting our energy. It could be that way too.
Well, if you had any idea how many kilowatt hours I destroy on some really stupid stuff, it's pretty awesome.
So, see, I like to say thank you because, I grew up watching Star Trek: Next Generation and wanting to have Data as a friend. So I kind of feel like sort of, we're there. Sort of, maybe.
I wanted Data as a friend as soon as I learned he was fully functional.
Naughty. All right. I should have. I didn't see that one coming, but I should have.
No, you didn't? Okay.
No.
Adam, I saw it coming for what it's worth, but
I'm glad somebody did. Yeah.
I did not see that one coming at all. I said
family friendly.
It still might be one of my favorite episodes, honestly.
That's one of my least favorite.
Oh, come on. But I like Tasha Yar, so I mean that was kind of the thing too. It was like
okay, well there we go. That makes sense.
I thought she had a cool character. Yeah, so
for me, it's Yesterday's Enterprise. That's one of my favorites.
I love them all. Like have you seen the guy? I know this is totally way off track, but there's a guy that does like 25-minute long, like philosophical dissertations on the meaning behind each episode, and I'll find it and see if you've seen him, because he's wonderful. He's soft spoken. He's very thoughtful, and like he just lays it out. You know why that show was so good and why we should all love it.
Yep. There's a few channels I watch Star Trek related on YouTube that have really interesting breakdowns of various. Lore Reloaded is a pretty good one, I think. A little more, not quite as bright and optimistic as some of them. Things like, Starfleet was always always a war machine or something like that, which I thought was kind of interesting. It's an interesting essay anyway, but yeah, I could very easily sidetrack into a Star Trek conversation quickly. My oldest and I were watching all the episodes of Star Trek in chronological order, not production order. So we started with Enterprise, now we're on original series, and then we're doing, the animated series, which I've never seen before. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So I guess Paramount's got me for a while, but we had a long discussion about who was more likable between Spock and Data yesterday. So riveting conversation.
Man, you had me. I'm interested.
I love the remastered original series. That's, to me, it just, the memories of that show and seeing it updated as far as the
visuals,
modeling and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just really gives it some new life.
They definitely did some on the bridge animations on some of the screens. Essentially, they did do some updates on that as well, and some of them. So yeah, nice. All right.
Real quick, Eric.
Yeah,
I put you a post in the chat here about what the default font is, what it's looking for.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Isn't it nice having a developer in the chat in the group here? This is great.
It is. I agree.
All right. Well, it's time for some open discussion, and I think since Adam's here, this is probably a great getting his insight on this. We did talk about this on the early edition this morning or early afternoon, but there's a Epic Games. You know them, we know them. That's everybody's favorite, right? They have so they're hiring a security engineer to champion Linux anti-cheat. What's your immediate thought on that? I'm not going to read the whole news story, but it's just kind of what the role is and whatnot. But so Tim Sweeney didn't call Linux a cancer. He just said he didn't care about Linux, and now it looks like that's shifting. What do you see here as like the long term from all of this? Do you really think that Linux is making a serious foothold, or do you think this is just kind of a meh?
There's something about Linux gaming that got his attention.
I will start with the fact that I am really bad at choosing the right thing. I am the guy who bought the Xbox One instead of the PS4. I backed, the PS3 instead of the 360. So I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe I'm not the right one to choose. But I don't know. I think it's fine. I honestly, the fact that like Tim Sweeney has like the mood swings of a menopausal woman really doesn't give me any faith that he'll stick with that at all.
Okay. I actually think
this company has a bad habit of just rallying behind him. So yeah. Honestly, like overall right now, I think gaming is just kind of in a booty cheeks state. Like console gaming, PC gaming, just a lot of it. It's in kind of a bad shape right now. So it's kind of hard to really know, and it's actually kind of hard to get excited for, to be honest.
The tone seems really down. Like when the creators I follow and it just seems kind of like people are kind of fed up and sort of sick of
studios are closing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a lot of layoffs are going on. A lot of devs are super, the morale is in the crapper, right? And just in general, like a lot of projects have been shuttered, a lot of empty promises. Just it's not in a good spot right now.
I kind of feel like it has been in a good spot for a while. Not that I don't follow gaming streaming very often because it seems like it's been negative for a while. Really?
It's been trending that way for sure, but I think
Yeah.
it's finally gotten to the point where everyone's just like, I don't know. it's because gaming is very expensive. Like to develop games, even indie games ain't exactly cheap. Like a lot of indie developers end up going into a lot of debt and credit card debt and other stuff building their games. And we hear about the really big successes like Hollow Knight or Stardew Valley or something, but for the most part, many indie devs don't even make enough to make their next game. So yeah, it's kind of in a rough spot, and all these big companies are being sold to like private equity or other interests, and then you have large platforms like PlayStation have decided they're not going to do physical media anymore, and they failed to deliver on their live service dreams that Jim Ryan started, and it's just been like kind of a mess. The Steam machine came out and it was kind of meh for the price. It's not really Valve's fault, but it doesn't change the reality, and just overall, it's just felt kind of kind of dull the last couple of years.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, it's like okay, if they brought like anti-cheat to Linux, it's like well, that doesn't solve all of the more systemic issues that we have. So yeah, it'd be neat, I guess.
So I think to me, like the whole physical media thing is not as big of a deal for me as so much as it's the ownership aspect of it. Like I can hand somebody a Super Nintendo cartridge or a Nintendo 64 cartridge, and they can play that game on the hardware, and nothing is stopping them. Like I think PlayStation
So
4. I
the
think
issue with the physical thing is more about the fact that one, the platform becomes the gatekeeper.
Mhm.
So the only if you get rid of the physical games, the only place you can get games is through Sony's store or through retailers that give you codes for Sony's store. In that case, the other issue is if there's some transgression on your account, you lose all of the games you've bought. They're just gone. Like if you get banned on PSN, everything you ever bought is gone. No refund, no pass go, no nothing.
I mean,
If you have physical, you can
think of
just
the
stick it in another machine or start another account.
right.
and you think
But
of the amount of trust we put in Valve, right? I mean,
same thing can apply. Yep.
a lot of us have a tremendous lot of trust in that company because we've spent not an insignificant amount of money, and they've done a good job of making it so that you can access those things, but
Right. Until somebody who doesn't have your best interest
Right.
in mind comes along.
Yep.
Yep.
And anyone who thinks that
At
something
least the
can't be
PC
bought,
space, they have other stores like Epic, funny enough. But
yeah. Yep. So
But that's the main issue with not offering physical media is you basically you are stuck with that platform, right? And
Yep.
that's the main reason Microsoft never got any traction this console generation is because people already built up their digital library on PlayStation during the PS4 and they're like, "Well, I'm not going to give up like the hundreds of dollars I've spent on games just to switch to the other." Whereas in the past, it's like, "Oh, I want to switch to Xbox, I'll just sell my games and buy an Xbox." But oh wait, my digital library can't do that. So, yeah. There's a lot of like kind of meta issues, right? It goes beyond just like, oh, I have this game I can play 20 years later. It's like, yeah, it's a lot more to it.
It seems like it's not a big deal until you realize that. I mean, I know I do it pretty regularly. Is like there's just some game you get an itch to play. It's been, you probably haven't touched it in 5 years or more. It's in your Steam library. It takes,
Right.
I mean, now considering bandwidth, I mean, it takes 15 minutes at the most to, install a game and get it up and running, and you can get in and just play.
And there's also delisting of games. Like if
yeah,
they can't sell the game anymore because of music licensing or something like that.
Yep.
If you can buy it physically, then you can just go buy a physical one. For example, the earlier Forza Horizon games, you can't get digitally anymore because the car licenses and the music licenses expired. But you can go and buy that disc secondhand and play it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if if there's no physical version, then you're done, right? You just don't get to play. Like Vince wanted to play Forza Horizon 3 because it's set in Australia. That'd be fun to play the Australian version. Nope, he can't do it. It got delisted. And the only way he could do it is if he goes and buys an Xbox to then get a physical copy. So it's like there are definitely issues to the physical thing beyond just like wanting to own things or play things 20 years ago. There's a lot. And right now the games industry has kind of shown that's just that they're totally okay with that. Like I was reading a thing, I think it was 3 days ago, where a guy got banned off of like I don't know if it was Xbox specifically, but they basically detected that his Microsoft account got hacked, and in an effort to protect his account or protect something, they wouldn't let him back in. So everything in his OneDrive is gone. They deleted everything in his OneDrive because they felt it was compromised and they couldn't trust it. And he lost all of his Xbox games, all that stuff, and that's sort of what comes with these digital platforms, right? But if you view these things as transient, then it's whatevs, right? If you think anything you put in your OneDrive is transient and it could disappear and you wouldn't be upset, cool, more power to you. If the games you play are the type you played like once and then move on, cool, enjoy. But yeah, like Eric said, if it's something you want to come back to later and it's like, oh no, we got rid of that, sorry. And it's like, well, I guess that was fun.
It comes back to the idea of like, what is a game in the first place, right? I mean, is it just a functional product that you play and it was built to, make somebody revenue and to provide you with a certain amount of entertainment and then that's it? Or is it an art form and like there was the creativity that's behind it is something that's worth maintaining and keeping? And, is it true piracy if you're like storing copies of ROMs and stuff like that because there's no other way that they're being stored, or trying to maintain some sort of an online game that the developers are shutting down the servers? I think a lot of people would argue that the experiences you have with a game are just as visceral and just as real as something you'd experience in real life. And it's a memory, it's a part of your existence. And and I understand that it's property or intellectual property of a company, but at the same time, like it just seems reckless to just assume that it is transient and that it has no value.
You'll own nothing and you'll love it.
Yeah.
You have to do it with like the creepy super villain German accent though. We do that. You'll own nothing and be happy.
You will like it.
So to me, that kind of really leans me toward buying my games on GOG because you actually own the games DRM free. That to me has value. But I do buy a lot of Steam games, but I think, and maybe it's a mistake of mine, but I tend to really trust Valve because I feel like they've been good stewards so far. Even games that you can no longer buy, you can still download. Like that somehow, I don't know how they're getting around a lot of these things, and maybe they're changing some of the content. I have no idea, but I know that I've been told many instances where you can no longer buy the game, but you still own a licensed copy to that game. So what do you think of that, Adam?
I'm going to be honest with you. Nessa was in here talking to me, so I missed everything you said. But I'm going to just say, you know what, Nate? I think you have my best interest in mind. So let's go with it.
So what I was saying is, so I like GOG. I like to buy a lot of games on GOG. But I feel like even though Steam you're buying a license to use the game or whatever. It does feel like Steam is a better steward of the community than any other provider, maybe less GOG. Like even when games are no longer available to buy, you can still download them. Like they haven't taken that away from you. So I feel there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah. For now. Again, like right now they're an amazing company. They've done a lot of great things. They have a lot of goodwill, and they're not the people in charge right now are not the ones I'm concerned about. It's when Gabe and the other folks who have your best interest in mind are gone, and now the suits pull in with their spreadsheets, and suddenly all of those goodwill things are gone, and the entire platform is built around being able to do that in the beginning.
So do you think
that's
actually that's typically the end of it seems like these suits who got their business degrees someplace, obviously, are really not very smart and don't understand like human psychology.
Oh no, they only look at the world 3 months at a time. That's the point. They're only just concerned about the quarterly report, man. That's the all it. And honestly, we're all older here. We grew up in a very different world. There is an entire generation of kids this is just normal to them. They don't think about that. They're not like, oh man, I won't own Fortnite. I won't be able to like do these things in the future. They're like, whatever, man. I have my fun. Move on. There's an entire generation that looks at DLC and they're like, yeah, duh. Of course you pay for DLC. Of course you do this. Like that's it. At some point, like it'll just be that. Like where the people who are our ages now, when they are our age, they'll be like, wow, that old way was like kind of weird, right? But I know there are also young people who look at that and just like are disgusted by it. So it's not nearly as cut and dry as it would be for us. I mean, I look at, for example, Sony announced no more physical games. There's this whole backlash and everything. But then they also shadow drop like not even a remake or a remaster, just a re-release of Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, and it crashed the PlayStation Store because so many people were buying it. So it's like, on the one hand, we're talking about how preservation's important and all these other things, but honestly, that's not even what moves it. We're not even all that important to these folks, because it's like the moment the new shiny bauble shows up, everyone's clamoring to grab it, even if they were 10 minutes ago, losing their minds over this. I have no faith in things getting better is my point. I'm just enjoying what I can, I guess.
I don't know. I maybe I have optimism bias. I'll go ahead and say that, and I try to like get the negative things out of my away. I think there's like a lot of good things that are happening though too at the same time. So a lot of these pushes for or right to repair. We have. I know it's nothing to do with games, but the fact that a company like Framework basically in a decreasing industry of laptops, whatever, they're growing quite nicely. So there's some other indicators of like there's positives out there too. So I don't know. Mostly, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. There are positives out there. There are companies, there are groups, there are communities. They're just outnumbered.
I think the less news you watch, the better off you are, quite honestly.
Absolutely.
We weren't made to consume the amount of information that we're being fed.
That's true.
I guess it's my fault then. Yeah.
No. There's nothing wrong with knowing what's happening around you in like a geographic area or in sphere of influence with your family and friends, and like that's all important to do. I'm not saying you sort of hide from the world, but at the same time, I don't need to know every horrible thing that's happened in the entire world, right now. And it's or on a continual basis. I think that's really the worst part about it, is it's just like a continuous you know.
Yeah, for sure. Like I ignore like 90% of stuff out there. This just happens to be terrible, terrible news constantly in the sphere of which I live, right?
I think if anyone follows capitalism as a concept, and I understand, like it's hard to argue that it isn't like the most effective economic system in terms of like wealth creation and prosperity and all that stuff, but ultimately, like if it's left unchecked and
Laissez-faire.
left to, yeah, it finds the ugliest version of itself, you know. And I think that's the danger, right? And that's what happens is that you have to not be so constrictive that, you know, you're stopping innovation, you're stopping growth, but at the same time, you can't just let it be completely unfettered, because that unfortunately, you know, lets it sort of devolve into its like most base self. So.
Right. I think the fact that a company like Framework, where I can choose to give my money to that company as opposed to another company who has a better, let's say, moral compass, right? Then the freedom to be able to choose those companies whenever I can, even if it costs me a little bit more, I choose to put my money in places that I think are have a healthier economic outlook, because I do think you have to have, you know, the free market's good as long as it has some rules.
The absolute truth is the last true voice we have is money, right? I mean, it's the fact that we can choose to spend money freely and how we want to do so. I mean, beyond obviously things cost what they cost, you have to buy food and blah blah blah. But I mean, any dollar you put behind a company, you know, you have the right to give to someone else. And again, unless it's you know, the power company that you're using or something like that. But from the free market perspective, that dollar is still your most direct vote towards the world around you, you know, more than politics, more than anything. And so, yeah, that part of it makes it very democratic. But unfortunately, you know, it's just not, if it's just not an even playing field, unfortunately. So.
Honestly, I think the AI bubble will burst after gaming does.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because AI has actual use for a lot of places, and there's a lot of investment and such. But then with gaming, the model of making games is just it's such a delayed investment that's really hard for the people who are looking at 3 months at a time to comprehend.
Yeah.
You know,
But
when a
the
game
problem
takes
is
3 to 6 years to make, and they can't guarantee. I mean,
right.
Sony made a game called Concord. You ever heard of it? It was around for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
It failed in 2 weeks. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars on it, and it failed in 2 weeks.
But don't you think then that's a matter of like not understanding your market, not like, I mean, there had to be some pretty
but the lead time. So at the time that they were building that, they started building it. That seemed like a good idea.
Okay.
Like because bigger titles like that take so long to make, it's hard to know what the market's going to look like when you actually release it.
But don't you also agree that it is a matter of like you're going to have, and this is like making movies, right? You're going to have 80% of them that are just blah, right? If you're lucky, they make their money back or they don't lose significant money. But to think that everything you do is going to have, because movies are similar. It's entertainment, right? Whether it's a video game or movies or whatever, like you're spending a lot of money. And the idea is that you have to create those few, you know, amazing projects that will carry
subsidize the others, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only issue is that gaming has become significantly more expensive than TV and movies.
Well, more expensive, and then it's just such a specialized niche of like that skill, that person that, you know, that can do that work and not only do it, but at a certain point in their life where they're able to commit themselves to it fully and all that. And the expectations on you as a person, I mean, there really aren't that many industries that expect you to literally just give yourself over to something like that. You know?
And then get laid off.
Exactly. Then get blamed for the performance of it and get
all the people are like, oh, it's unoptimized garbage, and then get laid off.
Right.
yeah.
You specifically
Exactly.
caused this, sound guy.
I think
Yeah.
I think the AI bubble will burst before GTA 6 comes out.
No, I don't see that.
I
Don't see that happening.
don't see
But you know,
GTA 6
like
coming
for
out.
real,
I'm just kidding.
a really big barometer though right now, and that a lot of folks are concerned about is if GTA 6 is not a like complete and utter success, like blowout success, that's the end of the AAA gaming industry. Because if that title, with all the hype and money and everything that went into it, if that's not a runaway success, nothing can be.
But how could it be at this point? There's so much build up on it. And
Well, that's
the
the thing.
world is
You've
a
built
different
up the
place.
expectations. If it doesn't meet those
Yeah.
expectations, that everyone's
I mean,
built up for it, right?
there is zero chance that that game will be anything like GTA 5. Honestly. I mean, or any of the ones previous to that, because the company was small enough that it could get away with being completely irreverent, and, you know, that you didn't have the same risk that you do now. And yeah, I've seen so many breakdowns of like, what could GTA 6 look like? And yeah, there's just no way. Given what's happened in the online space, you know, the current game, and I just,
Yeah.
I just
So
don't see
yeah,
it.
if that happens in October, yeah, not great.
Nope.
Well, there
But,
was
you know,
a video game crash in the early '80s, and eventually it rebounded. So I think maybe it'll happen again, and it'll just rebound later. I mean, maybe things like PlayStation and Xbox, maybe they've reached their life limit.
Yeah.
I think it's just that the scope of what gaming has become is just gargantuan, and it eventually will implode on itself.
Mm.
I mean, I still get excited about a lot of these Nintendo games. I know it's not the same thing. Maybe I'm not a serious gamer, which is actually true. I'm probably not very serious. But anyway,
I mean, honestly, Nintendo's doing the right thing. They're building smaller games. They have shorter development cycles. They have a much more clean pipeline. They don't use like giant engines, generally speaking. They use, you know, in-house stuff that they can keep the scope down on. They sell their hardware at a reasonable price and they make profit pretty much right out the gate. Like Nintendo's the only one that seems to have the right thing going on, but Nintendo also has its own, you know, cultural issues in terms of the gaming world. But as far as business goes, I think they're the only ones that have a level head with this right now. They're also still giving physical games, but they're also doing the Game Geek card, so it's whatevs. But yeah, I'm not gonna get
mixed
into
bag
that.
for sure.
That's not what we're here for. But as far as the anti-cheat goes on Linux, it would be neat. I don't think it would actually change my world, but I could see people being able, you know, feeling like, oh, I can finally move from Windows over to Linux, and you know, then the needle moves. It's like, oh well, you got anti-cheat, but now you also have to have secure boot on, and you also have to have this and that going, and yeah. But cool. Or, you know, you could just play the right games. That's also an option. So I hear that's pretty good advice. Maybe just playing the wrong games.
So I recommend the Untitled Goose Game. You can get it on Steam. Hilarious game. Check it out. It's so stupid. In fact, let's see if I can find it here. It might be one of the dumbest, funniest games that you can. So I have here playing. You actually play the part of a goose, and the whole point of it is to harass people. And there's to me, this is just such a great game. It has no anti-cheat.
Goose Simulator 26.
Basically, yeah. And
Love
so
it.
once you achieve all these different little things like of harassing people, then you move on to like the next level. And you can do 2-player at once. One of you is looks like a white Emden. The other is a Chinese goose, based on my limited goose knowledge. Anyway, it's such a silly, funny game. You know, you steal the kid's glasses and then you can't find them. I don't know. It's good, silly fun. Highly recommend. Highly recommend it. Very good.
10 out of 10. Will Goose again.
Yes, and I will put that game in the show notes. So for those of you that want to play that game, it's on Steam. All right, so I want to get to another article here, real quick. It's just something I thought was interesting. But IBM has unveiled a sub 1 nanometer chip architecture that stacks 100 billion transistors into a fingernail-sized processor. Is that ridiculous or what? I guess, what does that even mean, right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to conceptualize, I guess.
Yeah. So I think what the part that to me is interesting and is, I mean, I don't know if this is even going to be a good chip design or anything like that. It's a feat of capability, but we've for a while there it seemed like there was like great advancements in speed and everything else, and throwing more cores on, and then now things seem to have kind of slowed down a little bit now with power efficiency or whatnot. But so it's a three-dimensional layout. They can have, like, I guess it's for AI workloads, maybe bring the cost of energy down for usage and everything else up there. But anyway, so you can fit 100 billion transistors on this chip, roughly at the size of a human fingernail. So double the density of the last generation, but that's that. I think I just thought it was kind of cool. The question I see is, because it's less material being used, do you think then we might see lower prices? They always come back down eventually, right? Cream cheese is coming back down again, so I'm really happy about that.
Does it ever come back to where it was? That's the thing. I think they do this with gas a lot, right? They push really far and then they come back so that it feels like it's less, but then it is still more than it ever was, right? So it's like almost like a psychological thing where you feel like, oh, it's back to normal whenever it's still $1 more than it was, but now it's not $3 more than it was. So
yeah, I remember 95 cents a gallon when I was in high school. So
yeah, and now I'm lucky if it's not $5, which I know the rest of the world pays significantly less than we do, but it's what you're used to. So
we were down sub $4.
No.
That was exciting. What?
Simple answer, no.
No. Just so you know, when I sell eggs, because I have chickens, I still only sell them for $3 a dozen. Every other, out there sells them for a lot more for farm fresh eggs. Because I'm not a good businessman. But yeah, I don't know. Because what was it? Just 20 years ago, how many nanometers was it was like 95? What was the Core 2 Duo? What was the 65 nanometer process? So
wow, that sounds huge.
And I know, we're recently talking about 14 and 12 nanometers for Intel and AMD chips, and so now it's sub 1 nanometer, which, I mean, to me that's crazy. I think it's exciting and crazy. How many nanometers was the 6502?
It was like millimeters.
Oh, it was 8,000 nanometers.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty wild.
The chip is almost 3 inches long. It's huge.
Well, that's just for the legs, the dip package, because if the actual chip part is actually really tiny in the center piece of it. That's for in order to get the things out. The dual inline package.
Yep, I use those with the built-in EEPROM that you could erase through a glass window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had the sticker over them. Yep.
These sub-processors will benefit mobile users, so you'll have better power to performance ratio.
Yeah,
and
more
how does that
embedded
affect
stuff probably?
Yeah, so you can finally get your Neuralink and be connected to the internet forever in perpetuity. Sure, Steve is looking forward to that. This way he likes to already talk to his computer, so now soon he'll just think, and the OBS scene will change because he just has to think it. It'll be pretty great.
Well, neural network.
Nate, you're muted.
Sorry, Colin. Have you contemplated the size of chips lately? How big the architecture is?
No, not interested in latest tech these days, to be honest. It costs too much. It's a fortune.
Yeah.
If I buy another computer, it'll probably be secondhand. I think prices are just through the roof for no reason. And, it's happened since 2020, pretty much. I've been wanting to buy another computer, and I just thought, no, I'm not spending that ridiculous amount of money on something that's... And even reports of DDR5 memory, I think I've seen somewhere that they were saying it's not as good as DDR4. Is that true, or did I read something that was probably not up there with truth?
I haven't heard that. That sounds like an Adam question.
5's bigger than 4.
Graph go up.
Money line got to go up.
I think publicly traded companies are stupid. Anyway, I think the article to me was interesting just because of how things have changed. From my first processor, the 6510, and then now 8,000 times smaller. And how many more times less efficient, I wonder. That's what I wonder.
But the crazy thing is, this chip is probably like super impressive, but then like you're just gonna open your browser and browse the web. You're just gonna do the same things you've been doing this whole time. Like that's really it. It's like I've thought about the same thing. I was like, man, it'd be cool to have like one of those M5 Max MacBook Pros. Oh, to do the thing you're already doing? Yeah. Just that's what really makes it feel silly to me. Like it's neat, like it's like a concept, right? But like realistically, if I bought new hardware, I guess I'd be doing the same thing I'm doing with the hardware.
It's what they plan to do with it, I suppose, isn't it? What can it actually... Can it provide some sort of high-tech something where you don't need even you can have such a small box on your desk that you don't, it becomes convenient with a lot of power. I don't know. It's got to be something like that, or they're going to use it for drones, for, things like that. Who knows? Is that the advantage of these things, or you know what I mean? I mean, they're just making things smaller and smaller, aren't they? So,
well, I think theoretically you should have less heat when that's smaller, and so it should be more efficient. That's I think really where the benefits come. I don't know about
I just want to. So go ahead.
Things being more fragile though, too, being smaller. I mean, generally computers are a lot more robust today than they were 40 years ago. Remember Eric and I having this conversation about, this is a few years back, but how we don't have to worry about like how much more reliable computers are that you buy today versus the ones that you bought like in the 90s, 80s. So, I mean, I've not had to take a soldering iron to many PCs in my life that are even 20 years old now. So, I mean, I think things are just built better.
I mean, I'm cool with the chip as long as it makes my Androids fully functional.
Nice callback.
Well, the cool thing is that's the whole point of that chip is, reaching that sub 1 nanometer size. I mean, that's going to allow a lot more compact processors and so forth. So I mean, it is a pretty big jump to do that, and that's always been probably for the last 8 to 10 years. That 1 nanometer gap has been the issue. Getting past that.
Yeah. I didn't think we could get below 14 anytime soon, but I was way off.
Did Mork have nanometers?
Nanu.
No, he had nanometers.
Okay, so Intel's Core Ultra 3 series is built on 3 nanometer process, and 2 nanometer for the Ultra Series 3. And that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I don't know, 2 or 3 nanometers. That's nuts. I feel like it was just the other day we're talking about how they're having a hard time getting below 14 nanometers. I don't know what changed.
Well, they've been down in the they've been down in the low single digits for about the last 5 years.
Well, where have I been? How come I didn't know this?
Yeah.
Huh.
But also, sometimes they'll market it as like 3 nanometer, but it's like actually like a modified other process. So like the actual process node number almost doesn't even match up anymore.
Right.
Either way, it's amazing.
When you get below
do you remember like the Athlon XPs that gave you like it's an Athlon XP 2400 plus, but it ran at like 1.6 gigahertz, but it's like it's as fast as a 2.4.
Right.
It's it has a lot of that feel, right?
Yeah. There was a 3 series.
Just
like 3 series? Yeah. AM3?
No, these were AM2 and
oh, okay.
They were socket 754 initially.
Okay.
So like they competed with like early Pentium 4s.
Gotcha.
So like Athlon XPs and then the 64s are like the socket 939s. But yeah, they did that where they were like 4600 plus. Oh, it's 4.6 gigahertz. No, it's actually 2.2, but just trust us.
Let's see, the one only Sean says says Nate has been stuck in 1985. Yes, but 1985 is a nice time.
Well, the problem is when you get down around 1 nanometer or 2 nanometers, the transistors don't work right. It just flows across whether you tell it to or not. The gate does. The gate stuff flows across the gate whether you want it to or not. So apparently they've done some material. Right? Yeah, apparently they've come up with some new materials that inhibit that. So,
yeah, it must be
space age material called plastic.
What was that old something? Bakelite. That's what it is.
Yeah, Bakelite. Yeah.
All right, I have one more, just a real quick thought. So, Dell has overtaken HP as the top PC maker in the US, as the entire market is shrinking. Why do you suppose that is? Because I think isn't Dell like more expensive? Do we care?
I think when people look at the prices, they're like, "Yeah, I'm not going to buy HP for that price." I think that's really it. I know that'd be my thought. Like, I'm not about to spend $3,000
maybe because
on HP.
Oh God, Dell supports Linux as well, right? So maybe they've got more people buying more computers with Linux and Windows. Maybe would that be a fair statement or not really?
I think HP is pretty good with Linux support. Steve's got something to say on this. I can see it on his face.
Decide though.
No, I was going to say that HP, along with what's that on my QVC? They've had these HP specials, and they've been a joke. They're a nice looking little laptop, but they're selling for I think it was $399, and you can get a printer with an HP printer too. But the laptop has 4 gigs of memory running Windows 11 with a 128 gig hard drive.
Seems
That's
kind
a
of small.
Dell,
yeah.
you said? Yeah, that's pretty small specs,
Colin?
isn't it?
Yeah.
That was a
My
Dell.
wife, I bought her years ago a little Asus, I think they're called them VideoBook, the E200H. That has 4 gigs of memory in it and was running Windows 10. But I actually finally got Linux on that. It's a 32-bit EFI on a 64-bit system. And it was a challenge, but I'm running Linux Lite on it for her.
Is that one of those
But, you know,
EPC? Is it? Is that an EPC?
Yeah, not the EPC, but it was a Asus VideoBook, they called them.
Okay, yeah.
E200H.
Right.
But yeah, 32 gig eMMC.
So I'd actually
But
be
yeah,
curious to see
I
was gonna say I'd actually be curious to see the competitive numbers of how the HP has been passed up by Dell, but is that because so many of their customers bought Apple machines instead?
Well, I think it's I can so here the
Like
stats here.
The PC people just left, you know?
could be.
So well, actually, so it shows the market share of HP is the growth is negative 21%. And then Lenovo 1.2% up, Apple's down 1.6%, Acer's down, others are down. Where's Framework on this? Come on, man. Oh, they're a privately held company. We won't know.
Some of the early MacBooks used 32-bit EFI, even though they had a 64-bit processor.
Yeah, I've been trying for a number of years to get Linux on there, and it would read like the grub and then just never boot into anything. And it turns out the trick on those is to use Ventoy, because Ventoy in its list of tools there has a 32-bit EFI. Then I had to do a little finagling with it to get the sound working right. But I think with going back to the 6th kernel, they added for the Wi-Fi card, and I forget what brand Wi-Fi is in there, and the sound card, because that was a troublesome issue with Linux on there.
Yeah, Pipewire 1.0 was where a lot of sound started working. The Wi-Fi drivers with the 6 kernel, I think they got better around 6.17. But yeah, there's some distros like MX Linux has both the 32-bit and the 64-bit grub installed on the boot image, so you can use those older MacBooks and other machines.
So I'm just looking at the comments on this site, Nathan. Nate. And
Where's
people are saying that.
Whatever you want to call
it,
them
I
is
was
fine.
just reading. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Dell actually makes good PCs. Their laptops are more repairable than most others, and they're consistent. This is why Dell Inspiron is my favourite travel laptop. It's been through hell and back, and it's easy to repair, and parts are cheap. Right, so maybe Dell just has more flexibility in repairability. Maybe, I don't know. There's a couple of comments there about that.
It's a good point.
I think people are always looking for ways of fixing their own things these days, aren't they? Because they can't afford someone to fix it for them, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, historically, the Latitudes have been great as far as they've been tough and repairable to a point.
Yeah.
And then, but if you bust a port on, then you're kind of, well, that port's done. I suppose you can probably get it out the soldering iron and do some work. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I'm kind of a Framework fanboy. and amongst other things. So anyway, well, should we go ahead and hop into the housekeeping? We are running a little bit late here. So next week is the application appetizer, and also the next early edition will be on August 8th. So if you want to join for an early edition of Linux Saloon, August 8th is the next one. So I thought I should probably announce these things more often, I guess. But for the application appetizer, I don't know if anybody has any applications that they have stumbled upon that they might want to share with the class that we should try. If not, I have one. No, nothing? So it looks like a fun, silly thing. It's called Pop-Out 3D. It's a flat pack, so you can install it on anything except for maybe some Ubuntu's, unless you enable Flatpak. But it's supposed to create 3D images from photographs taken with a phone or camera. I don't know if it works. I just thought it looked kind of cool. Does that seem of any interest to anybody?
I was just going to say, I saw, well, I'm in the middle of watching it. It's paused, but Andrea Borman did a video on something called ZoidChat. It's like the next version of XChat, because y'all knew I used to be like the XChat person. I loved HexChat back in the day.
How do you spell it? Zoid?
Zoid, ZoitChat. Zoidchat.org.
What is ZoidChat?
She said it's like the next clone of HexChat, which was discontinued.
Well, they're lacking an OpenSUSE version in here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Flatpak, though.
What was the name of that flat pack you had up there, Nate? What was the name of that one?
This
3D something.
Yeah, it's called Pop-Out 3D.
Oh, Pop-Out 3D.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you thinking here? Pop-Out 3D or ZoidChat? Any thoughts? Any opinions?
Sorry,
Anybody?
Pop-Out 3D was it just visually 3D, or was it you would use like the glasses?
No,
Sorry,
I think it's.
I
It
didn't
says
see the-
take 2D images with an ordinary camera or phone, and the software will align them accurately and create a 3D image from them.
Yeah, but 3D how? I guess.
Talking about stereoscopic 3D.
Anaglyph,
Yeah.
side by side and crossover. I don't know. I don't know what all that means, to be honest, but
It looks like something fun to play with. That's all.
Interesting. Oh, it's a flat pack too.
Yeah, so it's got different types. So it has analogif, normal, side by side, pop out, crossover. So it must be different standards of 3D. I don't have any 3D devices or glasses or anything, so I don't know like how I would even play with this, to be honest with you. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, if there's anything else, I'm more than happy to entertain anything.
And you said the other one was ZoidChat?
Yep.
I think it's still in beta because she said you can get it on Debian 13 right now.
It's an IRC client.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know IRC
Yeah, I
is
know.
a thing of the past, but
I don't even know any servers to. I mean, I guess I could join like a KDE chat or something. I don't know, Nate. I'm sorry, brother. I'm trying to think if I've seen any really cool applications recently. I know I've had a few. See if I can find one.
Speaking of software, I'm actually satisfied with Mint. Granted, it's like the training wheels operating system, but I don't care,
Did anyone try the new version of Audacity?
I haven't used that
Beta
in years.
4. Yeah, it's pretty interesting looking. Because it's
new
like
tools,
a rewrite.
new skin in there. It's supposed to look really nice.
It's a rewrite too. Yeah, they talk about that guy that develops it talks about the technical debt that they've had to deal with, and it's pretty fascinating. Like the toolkit that they had been using is like so antiquated, and like they can't even do like basic UI concepts in it, and like so how they've had to like to try to retrofit, and yeah, it's pretty wild. And dang, I know there was something I used recently that I thought was really cool, and I wanted to tell you, and damn if I can find it now.
Audacity, it really kicks the llamas. Never mind.
You're thinking of the wrong thing there, but yeah.
I know that's Winamp. Yeah. Good old Winamp.
Winamp was the best.
Yeah.
I loved Winamp back then. Ooh, what's wrong with FlatHub? It says connection timed out.
Oh, interesting.
It's because you're from the you're not from pure Michigan. That's the problem.
Right, I'm not. It says you browser working Chicago Cloudflare working FlatHub. Oh, it's org, ain't it? Not com. Oh, there we go. Oops, I put .com.
I was playing around. There's one called Speed of Sound, which is a text to speech or a speech to text, like transcription type thing, which is kind of interesting. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, I'm failing you. I thought I had a couple good ones, and I can't find them.
Tell you what,
Can't find
we'll just make it a potluck. Bring whatever you find over the course of the week.
There you go.
There you go.
So just no hot mayonnaise salads.
Right. And no potato salad with raisins.
Who would do that?
It's a randomizer.
That's where. Okay. So Speed of Sound is using some trickery to access input devices. It's treating it like a remote session. And I looked down in my tray yesterday and noticed that there was an active remote desktop session. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I'm like looking through all my logs and stuff. And so I'm glad I just figured that out.
Oh.
Because of, Wayland, like it doesn't allow you to, hook into the input devices like that. So they must use some like trickery in terms of like creating a desktop session. Interesting. Okay.
Ooh,
anyway, I agree
fun.
with you. I will.
This looks kind of fun. I might bring this to the potluck. OpenTrace. It is a cross-platform GUI trace route tool. I could see some serious value in this one.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I did see an article, well, this is not really an app, it's more of a distro, that Mint is going to offer both X11 and Wayland. Because they're still trying to decide.
Come December.
Oh, come December they'll decide?
Yeah, for that, I think that's their next big update.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Yeah,
try
I
that
think
at the
Trace is
time.
cool. I like that.
All right. So if you have any suggestions, discussion, distribution, application, poll ideas, whatever you got, send me to suggestions at linuxsaloon.com. Be more than happy to check it out and do whatever else. So I actually want to get some feedback real quick, and I want to bring this up here. I know we're well over time, so I'll be extremely quick on this. But I had an email exchange with someone by the name of Nobody, and I know that sounds
like a who's on first.
Yes, nobody's on first. So the Nobody is a developer for a distribution called Odyssey Linux. They're from Italy. It's a void-based distribution and wants us to test it out. So August 8th is our next distribution exploration. So my thought is we can do that. Nobody will join us for it. Say that's funny. So we'll actually have some representation from the Odyssey Linux group. They'll be a part of the conversation. So what I thought was very nice that was said is that nobody thinks. Okay, this is really funny. Okay, nobody thinks that we're a mature group.
Funny.
And that would really like to get our feedback on it because it will be more honest, but also a mature feedback as well. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. So August 8th, we're going to do this distribution by Nobody, Odyssey Linux. And yes, it is definitely who's on first.
What kind of name is that? I'm sorry, that is a weird name.
The more I say it, the more I like it.
No,
I was watching a video on that last night, Nate.
What's that? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Colin.
I was watching a video on that last night. I can't remember who it was. They installed, it could have been Linux Hub or whatever his name is. I'm not sure. He was installing Odyssey Linux.
Were you thinking of Linux Hub that was looking at it?
I think it was Linux Hub. I have to look. I have to have a look.
Yeah,
he was looking at
reviews with him.
Yeah, he does, and he was looking at Odyssey Linux. It's based on Void Linux. It's got KDE and XFCE and about 4 different what do you call them? Window managers. Yeah, that's it. And you actually installed Void Linux with Calamari's installer. So it was very interesting because I've been messing around with Void Linux on an old laptop here, installing it via the command line and all that. It's a little bit hard to get up and running, but because it's got the Calamari's install, that makes it very interesting. But also one of the devs actually commented on his video and said, don't use it on virtual machine because there's a lot of problems. But all their testing's been done on real hardware and it works really well. So I just thought I'd throw that in there.
That's cool.
So what's stated here is Odyssey Linux is an independent void-based distribution. This is what the email that was sent to me. And supply chain security is the part I'm most proud of. Every ISO is signed with 2 independent keys, RSA 4096 and ECDSA cosign. And log to SigStore, Rector, transparency log, and anyone can verify what they downloaded. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you that I think their greatest accomplishment is if you go to the website, there's a little astronaut that follows your mouse cursor around.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Yeah.
I've been sitting here for 3 minutes watching it follow my mouse around, so that should tell you.
That's true.
Wait, how can they do that with how does that even work?
It's JavaScript. It's just JavaScript.
It's because it's a void.
Yeah, it's where your cursor is on the viewport, and then just drawing a little sprite and moving it around.
Can I click on it?
That's hilarious.
That's funny. That is freaking funny. I look forward to that episode, truth be told, because I mean, a developer whose name is Nobody. That's funny.
So
actually, let me see if I can find his comment. because he had a name on there, Nate, on the comment of the video. Let me have a quick look.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you look at the video, it does show his YouTube name actually. Because we might be running off his email name. I know.
Odyssey Linux.
So-
Here we go. Let's check this
So
out.
in the email, it says,
The,
with respect, nobody, Odyssey Linux. So that's how it's
okay.
signed. It's signed nobody.
Right.
But
Well, if you've seen the movies, nobody, you don't want to mess with anybody that's nobody.
it's true. So we have to be very.
That's because that's his YouTube handle name is N0B0D1 dash which spells out nobody dash D3J.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Well, they're
that's his
positioning this.
handle.
They're positioning this as a beginner friendly. You don't need to use the terminal,
Void
even though it's a
Linux,
window
yeah.
manager.
Absolutely. I mean, I've installed Void quite a few times now, and it's taken me, a little while to sort of get used to how to install this thing because I was messing around with the Cosmic desktop. It is in their repositories, but I couldn't get it going pretty much. Couldn't get it to boot.
Mm.
I've got
Was it a
Cinnamon
Void?
to install. Yeah, Void. Yeah, I've got Cinnamon to install, no problem. But I think they mainly support KDE and XFCE. So
Yeah.
I love this
yeah,
astronaut.
it's interesting, but yeah, he was the astronaut.
Yeah.
Well, now we know why he's called Nobody.
Yeah, I've actually been curious to know if anyone runs Void long term. The problem I had is it's no systemd, and so I just kind of ran into some issues where software was like assuming, a system would have systemd, and so.
Yeah, it's actually quite easy to start services. Some of the commands are fairly easy, and everything lives in, I think it was var or something like that. But I don't know. Can you run Flatpak without systemd, or is that systemd?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. There was some very glaring omission. It was just like, oh yeah, well, of course you couldn't do that without systemd. So I don't remember what it is, but I like Void in terms of like managing it, the package management and like the way you operate it. Yeah, I mean it's a really interesting system, and I ran it when I was doing Distro Hoppers Digest and liked it, and then that was like I ran into some impasse that I just couldn't get past. So
right. And they don't have as many apps as well, do they? I mean, it's their repositories seem to be quite packages. Yeah, seem to be fairly small.
But they will add things if you ask.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did read that.
So.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting one to look at, Nate. To be honest, not that I'll be around because I'll be away at work, but I think I reckon
you'll
that
be
would
here
be
in
very
spirit,
interesting
I'm sure.
to look at. Yeah, I'll be here in spirit. Yeah.
Oh.
But definitely, I'll be
Colin.
taking a look at that. I might try and install that. I might give it a go anyway while I'm on R&R. Give it a bit of a whirl, see how it installs, and I'll do it on real hardware. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some test machines now. I'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and go into the last call and shut this down because I'm tired and it's getting late.
Right.
So
Fair enough.
Dale, he took off, but you can check him out. He's got lowtechlinux.com. You can check that out. He also has YouTube and Twitch channels to check out as well. That'll be in the show notes. Eric, how you doing, man? Glad you could be here.
Good. Yeah, thank you. Fashionably late. How it's
But
done,
fashionable. That's the important part.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, well, yeah, you take it to an extreme, but I'm so late. I wasn't even there.
You know them Aussies. They're just like, whatever, mate.
Yeah, should be right, mate.
Yeah, he's faking it. I don't think he's actually Australian. Wouldn't that be an awesome plot twist? Like all these years later, be like, yeah, dude's from like Ohio.
That would be funny.
That would be good.
If you really want to insult him, call him a New Zealander.
No, I
Kiwi.
would never do that to him.
Nah, that wouldn't insult me anyway.
What's wrong with kiwis? They're delicious.
Well, he lives on the
Pretty
Australian
good
West
mix
Coast.
with
So.
Aussie accent, Kiwi accent.
There's a Flight of the Conchords episode about that. If you guys remember that show.
It's been a long
Anyway, yeah, it's good though. I rewatched it recently. It had that like silly optimism of the early 2010s, 2000s. Anyway, yeah, nothing really going on. So I won't waste your time. Thanks for including me. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you next week.
Well, I always appreciate you being here. Mike. Oh, the full scale for me variety.
Yeah, nothing much. Just updating wiki help articles to match the changes. New features added to time shift and snapshot and a few other apps that are boot repair to enable BTRF and more fuller support. Other than that, just boring droid work of editing.
Well, don't complain too much. The AI might replace you.
I doubt it.
Yeah, okay. They'd be too bored too.
We're seeing a lot of in the third tier AI stuff being pasted into posts and having rather spammy links. The neutral ones are just fonts and high character number to fancy fonts, but I'm not liking that realm of AI at all.
Well, I guess what can you do? Well, thanks for being here. Colin, I know that you've got new friends now that you prefer to hang out with on most Saturday nights, but glad you could, join join us little people again.
It's my Sunday morning, Nate. Don't forget. So, yeah, I even forgot what day it was today, and I realised. I jumped on my computer and realised that you guys were chatting. I went, I forgot it's even Sunday today. I didn't even know what day it was. Just lost in time, I suppose. But yeah, it's always good to come on here and always appreciate you running this, Nate. It's good. The small amounts of time I can get on here now. But, once I've finished the project that I'm on, I might be retiring early maybe, and I'll have a lot more time. So we'll see how we go. But, yeah, it's good to be here. And just a little side note, anyone use YAD at all? Because I use YAD and I've got these scripts that I use with YAD and they started failing on me. They weren't working, and then I was doing, you know what it's like. Something's not working. You're doing searching and figuring out what the heck's going on. Just managed to come across some. I think it was a AI assisted search through DuckDuckGo, and it showed me how the YAD form should look, and mine didn't look like that. But all this time it's been working, so something must have changed with the update of YAD or something. So not working again. I had to rewrite the YAD forms to actually get them writing. So instead of being on one line, I've got to be on different lines or something. So yeah, that was interesting. Haven't had anything fail on me like that for a while, but yeah, finally got them working again. So
yeah, I've never used YAD.
It's always but what they do is they come up as a dialog box, and I've got the forms all there, and I use them to run my scripts. So I've got little boxes and desktop files and all that brings them up, and it's my little utility for my Arch installs. So I always put them on my in my Arch installs, and when I spin up a ISO, it's always on there, so it's easy to install. Yeah, it's pretty convenient. Just did that because I could. So that was an interesting thing to do. I just thought, I'm wondering why this thing wasn't working anymore, and I was jumping from computer to computer to see if they were working, and after updates, they all stopped working. So yeah, weird things happen, don't they, in Linux?
Never.
Yeah, never a dull moment.
That's part of the fun.
Good to be here, Nate. It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
part of the fun, part of learning, part of troubleshooting. But I appreciate you putting this on, Nate. Thanks very much for that. It's good.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to have you. Steve, it's so nice to see your face on here it's been a while. It's like the happiest moment of my life.
Be another year. I'll be back.
Oh.
It just worked out today.
Okay. I got you. It's nice to have you in the chat here. Yeah. You know, I know on your streams you say you don't like to do guests as much, or because you feel like the chat dies out. You know, well, if the timing works out, man, I would love to go back and forth with you anytime. You know, I think it'd be fun. Just saying, not trying to invite myself in your stream, but I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't do any Linuxy stuff really. I'll talk about OBS and some of the stuff that I'm doing, and the stuff that I'm making and scripts and that. But as far as there's a lot of Linux that I mean, it just doesn't excite me, you know. And I can't get past you. So you know, this program's on a top tier level. You're the top shelf.
No, you know, I talk about other things besides Linux.
You're the Don Julio to my generic tequila.
I'm more like a Popov vodka. You know, the well vodka. That'd be the about as good as you get. Anyway, good to have you.
Good to be here.
Ben, nice to have you. And I got a new computer. Having loads of fun with it, I'm sure.
Well, I didn't get to do my segment this time, but we can do it next week. It don't matter.
Yeah, there's always other weeks. You know.
Yeah. I'll be here next week to do it. It's fine.
Excellent. And Chris, haven't seen you on in a while. Glad you could join us.
Thank you. And yeah, for you it'd be vodka and brown Michigan water.
Oh, I live on Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is a wonderful clear lake. Ish.
Yeah, I seen y'all was affected by the wildfires, the smoke and all that.
It was kind of nutty.
But I bet.
It was bad here in Chicago.
Yeah, y'all were getting it too. I know somebody in Massachusetts, they showed outside and like the sky was just yellow. It was like, ooh.
Yeah, I didn't like how the smoke tasted. So apparently Canada must be pretty dirty. No offense, Anna.
Pretty brown, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having me.
For sure. Thanks for being here. Jinda.
Yes, Nate.
Have you recovered from the smoke inhalation?
I'm still a little worn out. I had to take extra allergy medicine. It pretty much did not agree with me very well. How about you?
So, my eyes were like
you didn't put
burning.
up any big windmills to blow it away?
No.
No. It was bad.
My eyes were burning. Like it was like I hadn't felt that. It was like I was cutting onions for a while there.
The back of my throat was so dry.
Oh, same. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I had gotten a bad headache. But the AQI was, I think, like over 500 here Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday.
I did notice like being in my car or house was a lot better than at the in the office at the plant I work in Michigan. So, also when on I think on Thursday I'm like, you know what? I'm changing my filter just because on the furnace. It was that just in hopes that maybe I might do a little better. But anyway, thanks for being here.
And then the heat wave has dissipated. The heat wave going back down south, east.
I thought it was nice. I really liked
people
the heat,
turn off
actually.
the air tonight.
I enjoyed that 80, 90 degrees. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I should move by Eric or something like that.
I wasn't enjoying the 100 heat index.
I was outside enjoying it. But I mean, I'm also broken, so there's that. Mike, Chilson Variety. Thanks for being here and sharing the latest from Chilson Enterprises.
It's always great to be here with you guys.
So we'll have the link to your application in the show notes.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, if
All right.
anybody has any questions or feedback, just let me know. You're
Muted,
muted,
Nate.
Nate.
I'm sorry, I was burping. I said I'm on a podcast called Linux Out Loud. You can check that out. I also have a website, keepinglate.com. I write things sometimes. And I want to thank you all for your support, however you do it, being a part of this conversation, both the Discord meeting and the YouTube stream, as well as for everyone that watches the show after the fact. I want to thank everyone involved in making Linux open source tools possible for us to not only have this conversation, but also to have fun and enjoy technology. Linux truly puts personal back in a personal computer. Thank you for stopping by. Be sure to tip your developers and remember to Linux responsibly. Until next time, see us.
Bye.
I need to put a comma after buy and be.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.